All right, guys, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. My name is Eric Polzin. You can follow me at 905 Sports. Going to be breaking down this Monday slate here, and it's kind of a fun one. There's enough injury news out there in which we know where to navigate this slate. So if you guys enjoy this coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you see featured in this video, click the link in the description below. All right, touching on the injury news. So right now, as it sits, Cade Cunningham is a big player that's been, ruled out, still out. And just looking at the Pistons with him out, you got Ivy with a 32% usage rate, averaging about 36 DK points. And this is all going to be per 36. You got Bojan, about 26% usage rate per 36, averaging 39 DK points, which is crazy. You got Alec Burks, who hasn't played too much. Okay, only one game, only 25 minutes thus far, but his usage rate is 25, averaging 30 DK points per 36. And then you got Hayes as well, 21% usage, and about 29 DK points. That's all per 36. So someone you could potentially be looking at. Then we look at the news of Drew Holiday being ruled out. Okay, that could mean Giannis. It does mean Giannis. Okay, 38% usage rate with Drew Holiday off the court this season. And his per 36 is 67 DK points. Okay, and then looking at Javon Carter, you could also possibly look at, although he's priced up enough now, his usage rate is 23%, and he's averaging 35 DK points per 36 with Drew Holiday off the court. And then also looking at Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet. Okay, with those two off the court, you could be looking at a mix of the Raptors. It's kind of a guessing game. They've kind of spread it out. Chris Boucher here, he has been someone that you can look at, averaging about 30 minutes the last two games, averaging over 30 DK points, gets a good matchup with Detroit. That could be a route in which you're looking at. You got Flynn here, who, played some minutes in the last game. Didn't do much with him, but a very cheap price point. Doesn't take much for him to have value if he's going to be playing those minutes. Looking at his usage, it's about 20% with those two off the court, and his per 36 would be 27 minutes, but he's not going to get 36 minutes. All right. And then Banton as well, kind of the same thing. Okay. Not playing that many minutes. If one of those two see an increase in minutes, then they could be someone you're looking at as a value play. Not someone you're going crazy with though. So that's it for the injury breakdown. I want to point out Zach Collins still out. Charles Bassey is someone you could look at as well. Strong price per minute player. You should get around 18 to 20 minutes, and we'll touch on that stuff here. All right. Who are the top plays according to the FanDuel index? No real shocks here. Okay. You got Giannis, you got Curry, but Curry's coming off of a back-to-back. Got Tatum, Shai, no big shocks there. Okay, let's look at the FanDuel value. Reggie Jackson, okay, I guess I could see that with John Wall out. He is going to play a lot of minutes. He just hasn't been efficient with them for the most part. Can he go off in the slate? Yeah, he certainly can, especially going against Houston. Okay, that can definitely happen. I just don't know if I exactly want to chase that too much. Draymond Green, I don't know. I've struggled to play Draymond this whole season, but you definitely could. Al Horford's there. You got Looney once again, just too cheap. Could be someone you're looking at. I don't mind that. Gary Trent Jr. Yeah, he is someone that does see an increase in usage with those guys off the court. Javon Carter on FanDuel, that's where you want to play Javon Carter if you're going to play him. Still too cheap there. On DraftKings, I think he's priced up to the point where, you should look elsewhere. He still could get 35 DK points, but on FanDuel, it should be much more likely that he is getting 2, 5, 6x, okay, for you on this slate. So yeah, on FanDuel, that's the route that I'm going. Want to point out Wendell Carter as well. He is someone that, could have a big game, a lot cheaper on FanDuel. Okay, I just want to point that out. If you want to target him with Banchero out, the Magic with Banchero out, you'd want to play Wendell Carter on FanDuel if that's what you're trying to target. Now looking at the DraftKings value, Torrey Craig's really popping up there, extremely cheap. Yeah, I don't mind that play. Let's see how many minutes he's projected to get. Yeah, if he gets 27 minutes at that price point, it's still too cheap. Looney, certainly someone you could look at, but on the back end of a back-to-back, maybe we would get some news that he might sit. I don't know, just double check that before lineup lock. Earl Robinson, let's see here. Wow, look at that price difference there, guys. 3.1 on DraftKings, 4.7 on FanDuel. Minutes 22. Let's see what he is on DraftKings. Let's just see that. All right, so he did step into about 30 minutes in the last game going against New York, and it's not shocking to see him get around 20 minutes or so. The fact that he got 30 was pretty shocking, but with Baisley out and probably still going to be out in this game, then yeah, Robinson can be someone you're looking at. We got to get news that Baisley is going to sit. And if we do, then yes, then we could look at the value. That's interesting there. That's extremely cheap there. Even if he gets 15 minutes, he should be able to hit value. I don't mind that. Obviously can't play him on FanDuel. As it sits, got him projected to get 22 minutes. Okay, so then yes, he would be a great value then. Thad Young popping up there. He had gotten some run. Still extremely cheap on DraftKings as compared to FanDuel. Just overall looking at this slate, guys, it does seem like you want to attack it on DraftKings. Some slates you want to attack on FanDuel more, some slates you want to attack on DraftKings more. That's the route I go. It's Charles Bassey here. Extremely cheap on DraftKings still. Someone you can look at. I'll pull up his production as well. My biggest issue with this slate is that there's a lot of center value. Okay. And it's just tough to pay up at center then. So yes, we can see, been a pretty good price per minute player. They price corrected the last game after being 3.4, where if he is still 3.4, I would say, yes, go ahead and play him. It's going to be a strong price per minute player. Even if he gets 18 DK points, he's going to do well. But he's been getting more run with Zach Collins out. He's looked good doing it. It wouldn't shock me to see him get 20 to 26 DK points again. And I will say, just shy, I want to point this out. If you're playing him, you're only playing him on DraftKings. Okay, way too high price on FanDuel. All right, now just looking at the DraftKings projected ownership as it sits this morning. Thad Young soaking up a lot of ownership. That makes sense. Trey Jones, he's been a very extremely consistent player. And so he is pretty cheap as well on DraftKings. I can see why people at the start of today are saying, all right, I'll put him into my builds for now. If there's other plays that open up, we'll pivot to them. It just makes sense. Like he is a solid shoulder shrug play for me. Like if you end up on him, you feel good about it. I think that's just the route people have went. Curry, yes, Curry could easily go off. Probably should be high owned. It's easy to fit him into your builds tonight. Jaden Ivey, someone you definitely want to look at with Cade Cunningham out, has been very productive. 3 out of his 4 games lately have been really good. Scotty Barnes, people are playing him because Fred VanVleet is out. I'm not exactly sure that's correct because he is priced up pretty high. So maybe you think about that. Otto Porter, yes, to me, you're either playing Thad Young or Porter. I don't think you should be playing both of them. Flynn is getting some ownership, not expected to start. If we get news that Flynn or Batten is going to start for Toronto, then you're playing that guy. Okay. That's the route that you would want to go. Then from there, not too much shocking ownership. I will say this is too cheap for Giannis, guys. If that ends up being true come lineup block, if you're in the Discord chat asking about ownership, or if you're looking at this tool and he's that cheap, please get overweight on him. Should be able to go for like 60 DK points. And on the slate with some value opened up, it's just like, sometimes you just need to pay up for the studs that are going to give you 60, 50 DK points that other players are not going to get. And then looking at FanDuel here, yes, Giannis is extremely chalky on FanDuel because he should be. Okay, you just have to play him on FanDuel. No ifs, ands, ors, or but about it. And then from there, the ownership isn't like too high elsewhere. I mean, Scotty Barnes is getting pumped up. Bobby Portis, I'm not exact. I guess he's cheap on FanDuel, guys. Jeez, wow. That is very cheap. I know Giannis is back, but he does see the second most consistency in terms of usage and DK points when looking at minutes with Drew out. Okay, they kind of just shift to a bigger lineup. So yeah, he is someone that could easily break the slate. He kind of struggled the last 2 games, or for a game and a half, and then really picked it up in the second half against the Spurs. So if he does what he did in the second half against the Spurs, could be, a solid price point play for you. I don't know. I kind of feel like Javon Carter should be higher than Portis, but either or, that's fine. But nothing too crazy ownership wise there on FanDuel. So let's just get into the DraftKings breakdown, and then I'll begin out of here for you guys. All right, so just looking at the guards, here are the players that I am going out of my way to play. Yes, Curry, you do want to pay up for him. I think that's the route that you should go. From there, I'm not exactly sure we do need to be paying up for anyone. We'll say Kevin Porter Jr. If Jalen Green is ruled out, he is someone that I would want to look at, but I don't think Jalen Green's going to sit. Just want to throw out there if he does. Devin Vassell is someone you probably can look at as well. Just been extremely consistent. Like I said with Trey Jones, where people are probably just ending up on him right now just because it's early, safe play. That's kind of how I feel about Vassell as well. Looking at Jaden Ivey as a shooting guard spot, it's going to be tough not to play him. We can look, 5 out of his last 4 games have been really good. The only game that wasn't was against New York, in which he only saw 25 minutes. Okay, that was the front end of a back-to-back. I think that contributed as to why he didn't get more minutes there. So at 6.2, he's certainly someone you can look at. Per 36 with Cade Cunningham out, he's averaging 37 DK points, and I think we can project him to get right around 30 to 38. Okay, so yes, he is someone I think you should be looking at on the slate. Javon Carter, like I said, a little bit too priced up on DraftKings, but he is someone that I do think will have a good game. Trey Jones, a lot of people are ending up on currently, and I do think that's the right route to go at this price point. Is too cheap. Looking at the game over and unders as well, like this is a game in which you probably do want to be attacking one of the highest over and unders on the slate. So there are going to be points scored there. Spread wise, there's only one game you really have to worry about. Now it's going to be OKC Boston. That game is projected to be a blowout, but you can't really predict when the blowout's going to happen. Is it going to consistently happen throughout the whole game in which the starters don't get their last rotation, or is it going to happen, with that final rotation where the game kind of just gets out of hand. And then Golden State, San Antonio could potentially become a blowout, but nothing too crazy, nothing to the point where you're reconsidering some plays with the potential of a blowout. Like typically for me, I want to see a spread that's under 10 points. And then if it is, then I'm not really too worried about the game being a blowout. And then just looking at this as well, Detroit, like there is some value here. Like Alec Burks could be a strong price per minute player. Okay, did come out and shoot the ball 12 times. Okay, if we get news that he's still not going to be restricted minutes wise, it didn't seem like he was. Okay, if he gets a slight uptick in those minutes, kind of like the breakdown suggests here, then yes, if he gets like 30 to even 28 minutes, going to be a strong price per minute player. Killian Hayes here, though, he has been very productive the last 2 games, and as current price point, just too cheap. He is someone I'm looking at currently right now, just given the price point. Should be a strong price per minute player for you. And then yes, there is some Toronto value that could potentially be out there. Maybe you're looking at Flynn, but that's going to be more of a wait and see approach with him and the rest of the Toronto value. From there, looking at the forwards that are out there, yes, I just want to play Giannis, even on DraftKings where he's priced up. Should be able to just go off on against Atlanta. Last game, 64 DK points. Okay, it has Drew Holiday out. It should be kind of just a lock for him to go off and have a great game. Other forwards you can play, like I do think some people are going to be playing OG. Scotty Barnes is obviously getting a lot of ownership. I don't know. He struggled. It's tough to play him for me. Like if we're locking in 30 DK points and he hasn't went for like 40 in a while, I don't know. That just worries me. So Bojan here, I wish you could play him at the small forward spot. That'd be a lot better. Power forward spot, it's tough. I do like him as a price point play, and I will be playing him a decent amount. But if he was a small forward, it would make this slate a lot easier, okay? Because I'm struggling to find like a really good small forward play. And for now, maybe we're just playing the value play of Torrey Craig, potentially, for now until maybe we find some better. He's not a small forward either. What the heck? All right, maybe same thought process with Otto Porter Jr. Hopefully there's better value that opens up, but we can see 2 out of his last 3 games over 20 DK points. I struggle to find a good small forward play. Yeah, so for now, I'll put him in there. Center-wise, like I said, there's a lot of quality of center value that's out there that should be able to 5X, 6X. If you want to play Bam, you can. Obviously, Siakam's out. Siakam Portal has been pretty consistent. You could easily get 40 DK points out of a guy that's priced at 6.7. I don't hate that. Isaiah Stewart probably going to get 25 to 30 DK points. Looney is someone that you should probably be looking at. The only worry is that it is a back end of a back-to-back. Last time we saw that got 4 less minutes. Okay, and that obviously matters with a player like him. Probably going to get you 25 DK points though if he does play 28 minutes or so. And then you got Anyika Okongwu. I was close to getting that pronunciation right. But he is someone that has been playing, a decent amount of minutes. Okay. Last game against Milwaukee, you could argue is like one of his best games. 24 DK points. And then against Philly, 28 DK points. Okay. If he gets around 20 minutes again at this price point, a decent price point play at center, then yes, Charles Bassey here, a strong price per minute player. For now, I'm going to put him in there and hope that he has another good game. Then we can see we got a lot of salary left over. We can make, some lineup decisions from there. Maybe you do play Scotty Barnes. For now, I'm fine with that. All right, that's all we have for you guys for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. That helps us be able to put out more content for you guys. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw in this video, click the link in the description below. All right, thanks for watching and good luck.